Hey you guys, it's Amelia here, and today I'm going to give you an exercise to start teaching your horse the flying changes. This is one of the hardest things to teach horses. Some of them get it right away, and some of them it can take 6 months, a year, a long time before they really understand the aids. A lot has to happen in a very short period of time. So what you want to make sure before you even try this exercise is that you really have mastered your canter, walk, canter transitions. So you need to be able to go canter, walk, and then you should also be able to pick up counter canter, walk, true canter, walk, counter canter, walk. And then I'm going to show you an exercise with simple changes on a shallow loop serpentine, and then showing how to introduce the flying change. So the horse I'm riding, he's like barely done any. I've maybe asked him once or twice for the flying change, and so I hope this helps. Let me know if it's helpful. If you guys have other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thanks so much. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you the exercise that I use to introduce the flying changes, and I've done like maybe one or two with this horse, so we'll see if it's gonna work. So basically you need to have your canter walk canters pretty good. So I'm gonna do a shallow serpentine, and I'm gonna walk, and I'm gonna pick up right lead canter, and I'm gonna turn back out to the same rail, and then walk, and then left lead. So the thing that this horse does, his tendency, is that this horse tends to kind of come above the bit, hollow, and brace in these transitions. And that's the same thing that he does in the flying changes. So, boy, that was pretty good. So basically with this shallow loop serpentine, so a simple change, canter, walk, canter on the other lead, is the same movements as a flying change, only in the flying change you eliminate the walk steps. So as I'm going here, I'm trying to really minimize how many walk strides I do before I canter again, and I'm also trying to really start preparing him for the new lead before I walk. So let me show you what I mean by that. So before I walk here, I'm going to start pushing him off my right leg and get a little right bending, so that it's almost like I'm preparing him for the new lead before I walk. So here I start pushing him off my left leg, and then I can ask for the change. That was a little wild, but at first, some horses are gonna jump and go a little forward, and you just have to go with them and pet them, because they need at first that little bit of momentum to jump and get the flying part of the change. Good boy. And then, make sure if they do it, like even if it's late, reward them, and then we'll try it again. So basically that's a really good exercise to get them prepared for the change, because they know the pattern. It's like you come off the rail, you walk, you canter on the other lead, you walk, you canter on the other lead. So then it's easy for them to just kind of bridge that gap. They know already that you're going to ask for the new lead, so it's not as much of a surprise. And then you go back and you keep perfecting these simple changes. So I'm going to walk, flexion right, come on. And he took me way too long to get him ready for the right lead canter. Now I'm starting to flex him a little left, walk, and left lead canter. Good boy. And there I hurried him a little, because I need to get where I can make that changeover happen quicker. So here I come out of the corner, I start bending him right, I walk and canter right. Good boy. Now I start bending him to the left, and now he's anticipating, because the last time I did the change. So this time I'm going to walk, and canter. Good job. Boy. So if your horse starts anticipating and bracing, because the last time I asked for a change, you're gonna walk. If they are anticipating, the change is not gonna happen the way it needs to. So I gotta move the shoulder over. There. Walk. Good. Every horse has a default that they go to when you start doing the changes. So this horse's default is he kind of anticipates, he gets really strong, and he kind of wants to run a little bit off. So now I'm moving the shoulder over. Hey, hey, hey. Wait. Wait. Now. Good. And you can see he definitely gets a little braced, but he's also doing the right thing, and he's coming back to me pretty quickly. So I'm not going to punish him for that because he's trying. So I'll let him walk for a minute, and then you want to do the same pattern in the opposite way. So with this horse, I'm working on the flying change to the left first because the left lead is his easier lead. And I'll kind of confirm that flying change to the left before I really start working the flying change to the right. I've just found that's easier. If you get one lead, one flying change confirmed, then you can start working on the other one a little bit more. But it's important to still do the shallow loop pattern in both directions so that you're getting ready for the change to the right, even though I'm only working the change to the left. So these walk, canter, walk transitions, like, you cannot practice them too much. So these walk, canter, walk transitions, you can't practice them too much. If you are trying to teach your horse the flying changes, these transitions have to be so seamless. And you can see I still have some work to do with this horse because in the canter to walk, he braces and, if they brace in the canter to walk, they're going to do the exact same thing in your flying change. So the better that I can make these simple changes, the easier time we're going to have with the flying changes. Good boy. It's also, this is really teaching your horse too the placement of your legs, so that, like, when my outside leg goes back and my inside leg is at the girth, that indicates what leads. So now I'm pushing him off my left leg, I'm getting left flexion, my right leg goes back, and I get left lead canter. Now I'm starting to straighten him, walk, push him off my right leg, flexion right, and right lead canter. So just really practicing those simple changes is going to help you. Walk, left flexion, left lead canter. Walk, right flexion, right lead canter. Good boy, good job. So again, I'm going to wait to work that right flying change because literally, like, this horse has only done a couple of flying changes ever. I just started working on them. Boy. And since I know the left one's going to be easier, I want to wait until that's a little bit more confirmed before I start working the right flying change. So how you determine which change is going to be easier. So this horse, he tends to lean to the right, like he likes to fall right. So I know that I'm gonna have a problem in that right change, that he's gonna kind of dive to the right. And that's why I decided to pick the left change first. Also, you know, if he has to pick a lead, he usually wants to go on the left lead canter. So you want to start with the flying change to the easier lead. Like if your horse prefers left lead canter, you want to start with the flying change to the left lead. If your horse prefers right lead canter, start with the change to the right lead. So hopefully this helps you guys. The changes are one of the hardest things to teach. So you just have to be patient and keep going back to those simple changes, canter, walk, canter. Good luck.